Time flew by as Helen and Jacob talked about the powerful members of the Dragon clan. By the time Dracon and Helen dropped Jacob off at the gate of his dorm, Helen was convinced that they had made the right decision by picking Jacob as their son-in-law. She felt that he was considerate, smart, and caring. He would protect her daughter with all his might. She had already begun treating him like her son. Jacob didn't want to wake Sophie up, so he said a quick goodbye to her parents and thanked them for the weekend before getting out of the car. He stood at the car window for just a few seconds to look at Sophie, who was sleeping like a baby. She looked so innocent and beautiful while sleeping. The moonlight touched her face lightly, and Jacob couldn't take his eyes off her. He reluctantly began walking towards his dorm. Jacob walked into his dorm room and saw that no one was in there. He guessed that they had probably gone to the library or to the cafe to hang out. While his roommates were out, Jacob tried to pass his time by finishing his assignments that had been accumulating for a week. He didn't even bother to do the complicated ones, as he had planned to borrow someone else's notes and copy their assignment. It was almost dinner time, and his roommates hadn't returned. Sam and the others had assumed that Jacob went home already and would only come back around 7 or 8 on Sunday night. They would have never guessed that he had gone to spend some time with his fiancée and her family this weekend. Jacob began reminiscing about the weekend that he had spent at the Wildcat Mountain. It was probably the most substantial and meaningful weekend he had had in a while. He had more fun than he could have ever anticipated. He thought of something and quickly took his cell phone out of his pocket. He scrolled through his gallery and found the picture of Sophie sitting on the rock, her face all red from the long climb up the mountain. He scrolled to the picture of him and Sophie, and a big smile spread across his face. He looked at Sophie smiling in the picture. Her shiny eyes were like black pearls. Her nose was delicate. Her eyelashes were naturally curly. With the background of green forest and gray stone stairs and rocks, she looked almost unreal. He couldn't believe how beautiful she was and set the picture as his wallpaper. After a few seconds, he changed the wallpaper, remembering that his friends did not know about her and would ask questions if they saw their picture on his phone. He looked at the picture again. Sophie is already a pretty girl with beautiful, innocent eyes. She will look even prettier as she grows older. He started thinking about her, but his thoughts quickly took a detour. She must be really popular at her school, and boys must be hitting on her all the time. Jacob felt the flush on his face, and then tried to shake the thoughts away. What am I even thinking about? Am I jealous? Just as Jacob was about to dwell on how many boys must have asked Sophie out by now, his roommates opened the door of the dorm and entered. They looked surprised on seeing Jacob in the room. "How are you back so early?" asked Sam, clearly under the impression that Jacob had gone home. "The athletic games are tomorrow. Jacob, you've got to work hard and try not to come in last." One of the guys patted Jacob's shoulder and said encouragingly, "Your expectations of me are so high," Jacob said sarcastically with a straight face. But deep down, he knew that there was a huge possibility that he would lose because of such little practice. "It's great that we don't have any classes for the whole day tomorrow," Sam piped in cheerfully. The four of them began to talk excitedly about the games that were going to take place the next day, the students who would be attending, whether or not the girls they were crushing on would sit with them, what kind of snacks they would get, and so on. They didn't have much hope for the 1,500-meter race in which Jacob was participating, but they encouraged him nonetheless. If he wasn't their roommate and friend, they probably wouldn't even care about this stupid race. Jacob, too, was a last-minute resort, as there weren't any other athletes in their major. For the class, Jacob winning any position other than the last one would itself be a cause for celebration. As they got more and more excited about the next day, Jacob got a bit bored and walked to the balcony for some fresh air. It had stopped raining, and the moon was shining brightly in the clear night sky. He recited the Spirit Concentration Scroll silently twice. He felt refreshed as all the negative energy around him began to disappear. He tried to recall the ancient tree from the Dragon Temple on top of the Wildcat Mountain and the stone monument attentively. As he concentrated, He felt the same comfortable feeling of the rich essence of the wood entering his body. He was also stupefied as to how all the negative energy was sucked up by the trunk of the tree. He had so much to learn in this process of cultivation. As he focused, a realization dawned on him all of a sudden, and he exclaimed, "The water element!" Susan had said that Jacob was of the water element when she grabbed his arm the other day. Is it possible that the Spirit Concentration Scroll utilizes the water elements that originate from heaven and earth? The realization became deeper as he recalled the scripts on the stone monument. If desire shall conceal the true self will manifest itself even more. If desire shall weaken the true self will strengthen itself even more. If desire shall abandon the true self will prosper even more. If desire shall deprive the true self will give even more. This is known as the enlightened nature that is subtle yet profound. Gentleness overcomes strength, and the meek overcomes the strong. Jacob felt his heart pounding, and the barrier that stopped him from advancing to the second level of the Spirit Concentration Scroll was about to be broken. Dracon asked me to go to that temple not only to accompany Sophie, but also to test how much I could comprehend and understand, he realized. Jacob frowned and tried his best to look for the sensation of water. However, the more stubborn he was during his concentration, the harder it became for him to comprehend it. He took a deep breath and slowly recited the Spirit Concentration Scroll to calm his mind. Water is stillness, and wood is strength. Affinity and aversion can complement each other, combining toughness with tenderness so they can have mutual control and support. Jacob thought about the ancient tree and suddenly had some profound inspirations. The seed that the ancient tree left inside Jacob's body contained pure wood essence that abruptly sprouted inside him. In the meantime, the water element in the air formed into a few tiny water streams and poured into his body. Jacob found himself so relaxed he felt like he was floating. His body felt transparent, a see-through vessel that easily soaked in all of nature's energy, from heaven and the earth. He knew that he was about to break through the first level of the Spirit Concentration Scroll and achieve the second level. It was the inspiration that the ancient tree brought him. In terms of that stone monument, it talked about the ways of managing and controlling water, and it matched the essence of the third level of Spirit Concentration Scroll. The mist that was originally spreading in the air gradually formed into 9 vague, whirling streams of water and entered into the 9 crucial acupoints in his body. After entering Jacob's body, the thick streams tried to find their own positions and began to settle down. "What are you doing outside?" Sam yelled from inside the room. Jacob's concentration was broken with a jolt, and the 9 streams of water that were filling Jacob's body instantly vanished. Sam walked up to the balcony and patted Jacob's shoulder. "What are you doing out here? You have a race to attend tomorrow. Go to bed early." He dragged Jacob back inside. The ancient tree that brought Jacob his seed of inspiration completely vanished, and Jacob couldn't find any trace of the wood essence, nor control the abundant water energy inside his body. The water dissipated and flowed out of this body till there was not a single drop left. The peaceful energy of nature around Jacob's body also dissipated, and it was chaos once more instead of the division of the 5 elements. Jacob understood that this failure wasted a great opportunity to advance to the second level of the Spirit Concentration Scroll. Also, he didn't know when he would get a chance to make the next breakthrough. Even though he was disappointed, he didn't want to blame it on Sam. After all, Sam saw him standing outside for a long time and asked him to take a break for his own good. "I better find a quiet place without disruption for cultivation," Jacob sighed as he climbed into his bed and called it a day.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.